So, hello everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in today's podcast, I have a very special student with me, Abdul Rahman, a person who is very curious and he always wants to learn. I have to tell this quality of his that is amazing. So, has got a significant NIPER JE All India rank 15 and has outshined in the examinations. So, welcome Abdul Rahman from Madras Medical College to today's podcast.
Hello, sir. Hello, and hello, everybody. I am so glad to be here in your podcast. I thank the Almighty for bringing me here at this point.
Correct. Yeah. So, Abdul, firstly, tell me how was that moment when you saw All India rank 15 and your family's expressions? Tell me everything.
Yes, sir. So, as actually today, I wasn't expecting the result, but since many of them are telling that the results might come 2 days later, and you itself told a short saying that it will be coming around 25th of June. So I just saw your shots, and I was just randomly scrolling the reels in Instagram. But suddenly they popped a message in WhatsApp stating that the NIPER results were out. So I was the moment I saw the message, something caught me. Like I was so nervous, and I just immediately went to the website and downloaded the rank list. And there I just remembered the last three digits of my application number, that is 880. So I was just looking from top to bottom, and at 15 I got my 880. So for verifying it, I just typed it and saw that yes, it was me. And literally, for a moment, my eyes filled with tears, obviously, because this is a dream for almost 2 years, like to get into NIPER Mohali, because this is the ultimate place where one pharmacy graduate can get in India. So that was really a surreal moment for me to get into top 15. That too, it was really unexplainable at that point of time. The tears in my eyes will be more
Absolutely.
valuable.
You cannot express that. Absolutely.
Yes.
So since you have mentioned NIPER Mohali, so NIPER Mohali, mein which branch are you thinking of taking?
Yes, sir. So currently, I'm equally interested in MS Pharmaceutics as well as Pharmaceutical MBA. So I'm very much equally interested in both. So my motive and my target before giving my NIPER exam was that I should be in a position to choose what course I want to do. Like my rank should be in such a way that I should be in a position to choose, and I did not have any tentative numbers like under 10, under 100.
Absolutely.
But my aim was that my rank should be in such a way that we should not be put in a compulsion that since your rank is this, you are not able to get this particular branch. So hope by God's grace, I have been in a position right now. So by getting your guidance and future, like doing some sort of research, I shall come to a conclusion. So to go for an MBA.
So one thing that Abdul has said very well, I want every aspirant who will be watching this video, you should be in a position where you get to choose what you want, which subject you want, which branch you want. So one thing that is very inspiring from Abdul. Okay, moving on. How much time did you give for GPad preparation, and how long you have been preparing for NIPER and GPad both? Can you give a rough idea of that?
Yes, so basically, the idea for attempt GPAT and NIPER came once I complete my second year. Once I completed my second year, I fixed that I'm going to do my masters, and I will try my best to get into NIPER. And for that, I saw GPAT as a first hurdle. So I roughly prepared for GPAT in my third year and just gave it like a rough attempt, like to understand how GPAT exam is being conducted, what is the code of conduct, and how are the questions being asked, and what strategy we can adopt to ensure that we are getting a good mark. So I adopted a particular strategy, and which got me a decent time. I qualified in GPAT 2023 too. But the major motive for me is to learn from the mistakes which I did in the 2023 attempt. So I got to know like I have to attempt more number of questions and increase my accuracy. So accordingly, I prepared for my 2024 preparation, and and subsequently I have done GPAT 24 exam well, hoping that I might get a good rank in GPAT too. And as far as NIPER is concerned, NIPER was one thing which was very constant in my mind right from my second year, because GPAT is a hurdle, but NIPER should be our ultimate target. So I was constantly like focusing on both without like not focusing much on GPAT, not focusing much on NIPER, but I was cautiously having in mind that we have to go to NIPER. So that that was in my back of my mind during the entire preparation. And as far as the schedule, daily schedule and all is concerned, first
Yeah.
of all, to be very, very honest, I'm not a person who puts a rigorous schedule like from 6 to 8 we have to study, we have to take a break from half an hour. I'm not a person like that because I'm used to go with the flow, and it has worked for me right from my school days, right from my 10th and 12th and even my college. It has worked for me. So what I want to say to the aspirants, for the future aspirants, for my juniors, is that identify what works for you, because that is very, very crucial. Because some things might work for somebody, but it doesn't mean that it will work for everybody. So we have to ensure that what works for us, and take the time you for you to understand what works for you. Because I feel that the third year was the time which I realized what works for me and what goes good and what goes bad. So similarly, different people might have different grasping power. So accordingly, you can take your own time to understand what works for you, and never ever just blindly follow the different offer strategy. Like, understand
Hmm.
whether it will work for you or not. So, and it
Absolutely.
doesn't mean that and it doesn't mean that if someone is getting a good rank by following a particular strategy, that you will also get the same by following that particular strategy. So that is very, very crucial in any sort of preparation, let it be in your semesters or in your competitive exams or maybe in your future, maybe like in a job prospect or whatever. So that's what I want.
So, to all the aspirants who are watching, Abdul's these words are golden words. Let me tell you that do not follow anyone's strategy blindly. You should always go with your comfort and go with the flow. I totally agree to this something that Abdul has just said. Abdul, moving on. Can you tell me how did you balance your semesters and GPad? Which one was your priority? Did you give semester or both were equal?
Yes, sir. So my advantage and my strength, which I found, was that during my semester preparation, I used to refer standard books. So
Hmm.
it helped me both for my semester examinations as well as my GPAT examinations. So I did not put any special or dedicated efforts for GPAT while preparing for my semesters. I merely considered the semesters because at the end we are going to get questions from the semester syllabus which we are reading. So I focused on following the standard materials during the semester preparation, and I did focus on my semester exams. To be very honest, because I did not give a special time for GPAD and NIPER and all. That's what I said earlier. The major strength for me is that I preferred standard books over anything for each and every subject, and I guess that has helped me really helped me a lot to ease my preparation when I was like my course ended at around December. My final semester exam ended around December. So from January till the GPAT exam, that particular 5 months time, my GPAT preparation went easier since I followed my standard books earlier during my semester days. So that is the strategy which I followed.
So all the aspirants should take Abdul's words. Follow standard books. No smart books or no other books will help you to cater to the major problems. If you want to solve major questions, if you want to solve your basics fundamentals, see to it that you adopt standard books. So one thing that all the aspirants are watching, I want to tell about Abdul, that he was one of my most curious bacha. Matlab, he used to ask questions that are very logical, and he used to study and he used to get doubts. When do you get? When you study and when you're so dedicated. So one thing I really appreciate about Abdul, that he was very dedicated and he knew that his goal is very clear and his path. So one thing all the aspirants out here must learn from him: dedication. It's like almost within him, every blood, every flow where he is so dedicated. So, Abdul, moving on, you were also a part of my crash course. So, you had like you used to join for a few lectures, and then due to Ramadan, there was some you couldn't join and all. So, how was we helpful to you? Like, how did best pharmacy tips and tricks contributed? Like, what role have we played? And Payam sir, has played.
Yes, sir, definitely, sir. So before joining a crash course, my what I actually expected from the crash course was that you are the persons who have already experienced how the exam goes, what are the areas which are to be covered, and you have nailed the particular essence of the exam, and you have cracked it, and you have been there. So what I expected was that you will be able to give that essence to us, teach
Yes.
that particular essence to us, and teach the niche areas, how we have to proceed and what are not we have to study, what are not we have to study. And
Okay.
definitely, to be honest, I got what I expected from the crash course. before, like the expectations before joining the course were fulfilled after the completion of the course. But what I generally like wished that the course could have been even more lengthened, like for
Length.
another couple of
Correct.
months. Yeah, but I do know that you have your own commitments for exams
Correct.
and our projects and all. So yeah,
No,
I
no, we
was
are
okay
coming
with
up
that.
with a lengthy course because your suggestions are very useful to us. You had suggested that it can be longer, so we are coming up with a course now in July.
Yes,
So
sir,
definitely we'll
that's
be.
great. That's
Yeah.
great. So almost like 5 to 10 solid questions were directly from your lectures. I
Okay.
hope you remember that I told you after my giving my exams soon immediately.
You had texted me
So it
immediately.
was so direct. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it was so direct, and yes, that's it. So you know what have to be done, and you taught us what have to be done.
Absolutely. So that was Abdul Rahman with me, who has achieved a significant rank. And to all the aspirants watching out to him, make sure you learn all these strategies. You make sure that you learn how much dedicated with a lot of perseverance and zeal Abdul has cracked all the examinations. So, Abdul, a last question for you, or rather, what suggestions or what qualities you would like to tell to the future aspirants of 20 GPAD 2025, NIPER 2025, so that they can crack it with a significant rank just as you have cracked? Any good tips
Yes,
and advices for them?
yes, sir. So the first basic advice for me, like in whatever year you are, ensure that you are following standard books. It's going to be some of what I have said earlier. Ensure that you are following your standard books, because standard books are very, very important, because the questions are going to be from the standard books. And even if there is some issues in the answer key, they are going to refer only the standard books. So please ensure that you are following standard books and to the maximum extent possible. I do understand that clearing semester is also important. So ensure that you are when you have time, try prefer.
You're on mute, Abdul. You're on.
Yes, sir.
You were on mute. You were on mute.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
sir. So is it audible now?
Yeah, yeah. You said the last word we were able to hear was standard books.
Yes, sir. Standard books. That was that's going to be my first suggestion. The second suggestion is, as I said earlier, identify what works for you, because that is very, very important. And ensure that give lots of MCQs, and don't keep on studying. Try solving questions, because solving questions gives you the idea of how questions will be and how you are going to apply what you have studied. Because simply studying or merely solving MCQs will not fetch you anything. So try solving your MCQs. And if you are a person timetable kind of person, do your own timetable. But I think I'm not in a position to say any particular timetable or not, because I haven't followed any in my
Correct.
preparation. So yes, so that's what. So identify what works for you and try solving your MCQs. Follow your standard books, and that's it. And hopefully you will get your desired rank.
So that was Guru Mantra from Abdul. Identify what works for you. Great. So thank you so much, Abdul, for joining me for today's podcast. And I'm really proud of you. Let me tell you that. Before we end this
Thank you
vlog,
so
I'm
much.
really proud of you. You have done really well. Like the intensity and the speed with which you used to answer in the lectures, I knew that he will get in top 50. But in top 15 is great. Amazing. Have a great
Thank you, sir.
journey and have a great future.
Really, I just want to thank to you personally, because you were the one who made the momentum come up, because that momentum before the exam is very, very crucial. And
Correct.
that particular crash course helped me to get into the momentum going forward. So
That's
definitely, I want to thank you personally. Sir. I take this
that's
opportunity. Thank you.
good to hear that. So you can all drop in your doubts in comment section, and whenever Abdul gets time, he'll definitely try to answer your doubts. Everybody, thank you so much for watching the video.